Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if it's your first time watching. In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I do a glitter ombre using all acrylic. So here I am just getting my stuff ready, making sure my brush is nice and wet. As y'all know, I like to remove the liquid from one side only and use the other to pick up my bead. I waited a bit just to make sure that my bead of acrylic was wet all throughout, and then I went ahead and placed it on my nail. You want to begin by blending up just a bit, and then you want to start dragging your bead all the way down to the tip of the nail. When dragging down the acrylic, you want to keep wetting and cleaning your brush as needed until the bead covers the full nail. So now I'm just removing the excess acrylic from the tip of the nail and making sure that my shape stays straight and defined by brushing along the side of the nail. Here I continued to brush a little more because there was still a bit too much acrylic at the tip. There again, I removed the excess. At this point, I actually decided to do one more small bead of nude because I did want my nude color to go a little higher up closer to the cuticle. So I just applied a small bead, dragged that down, and then you'll see I'm going to go in and feather it up a bit just to blend up. Next, I will be using a gold glitter acrylic to create the ombre onto the nude. Now that the nude is all dry, I'm ready to pick up a bead of the gold glitter acrylic. As always, I removed liquid from one side of the brush and then picked up the glitter bead with the other side. Once the bead is fully wet, you're ready to place it on the nail. I'm pushing up just a bit, and then we can go ahead and start feathering down. You want to make sure you do this very lightly because you want to create that subtle fade. You don't want to press down too hard and then drag down all of the glitter. Little by little, you start feathering down, making sure you create that subtle ombre effect. Now I'm picking up a second glitter bead, which will be our cuticle bead. You want to make sure it's wet all throughout, and then you're ready to place on the nail. As usual, you push up into the cuticle. And once you get as close to the cuticle as possible without touching the skin, you can go ahead and start feathering down just to blend that into the first glitter bead that we placed. Once it's dry, we're ready to cap and clear. This is also known as encapsulating, and it's an important step when working with glitter, ombres, and other designs because we want to make sure we don't get rid of our design when we go in to seal in the cuticle or buff the nail. When working with clear acrylic, you want to make sure your brush is a little more wet than usual. The reason is that if any particle in your clear acrylic is dry, you'll be able to see it in your end results. The clear tends to become foggy or not clear, so you want to make sure that your brush is a little more wet than usual, just so that the clear bead will get wet all throughout. As always, you just start to drag down with the belly of your brush, wetting and cleaning your brush as needed. At this point, I decided to add a small bead of acrylic at the tip of the nail to fill one spot which had a little less acrylic than the rest of the nail. So when you do this, you just want to go ahead and brush backwards or up to blend that into the rest of the nail. Then you just want to remove the excess. Now that our clear encapsulation is dry, we're ready to go in buff, reshape, and seal the cuticle. So here I'm just buffing the surface of the nail, to make sure it's nice and smooth. Now that I have buffed the entire surface of the nail, I'm going to go ahead and seal the cuticle using this bit. When working on clients with this cuticle bit, you have to be very careful because you're working right in the cuticle area. So you want to make sure to use this bit only on the acrylic nail and not on the client's natural nail or their skin. You want to repeat the same U motion a few times, going just around the cuticle area. This is so that you blend in the acrylic enhancement into the client's natural nail. You want to have that seamless look, making it seem as if the acrylic is just growing out of the cuticle area. Here I'm showing the side view so that you guys can see how the acrylic is starting to look in the cuticle area. It's very thin and it's blending into what would be the natural nail of our client. Now I'm going to buff the surface one more time, especially by the cuticle because our drill bit may have left some rough areas there. Next, we pick up our file and start to reshape. Since this nail was shaped into the slim square shape, you want to just hold your file straight against the acrylic now and shape that. Make sure not to have the file under the nail as if you're shaping the nail tip underneath, because that has already been shaped before we applied the acrylic. So now you're just focusing on reshaping the actual acrylic. I'm flipping the nail over to make sure that the tip of the nail is completely straight. Now I'm going to dust off my nail surface to make sure it's clean and ready for top coat. So this is the final look for how I do a glitter ombre. I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time.